comes down to basketball, when it comes down to actual talent and not taking dirty jabs, not punching someone in the throat, not kneeing someone in the groin, not flagrant fouling someone from behind while their back is turned to you, right? Not taunting somebody for a long time with your finger, right? Not walking into Indiana saying, walk in your trap, take over your trap, right? Not all these things, not trying to fight Caitlyn on the court. Those won't win basketball games. You know what will win basketball games? What this woman right here, Elizabeth Clark, does on a nightly basis. The face... Oh my, the face of Marina Mabrey right here on your screen. Let this be a microcosm for the next 10 years against every opponent who tried to hard foul and do CC nasty. I mean,
forget the woman selling out arenas, smashing ratings records, and dragging this entire league into a level of relevance it's never experienced in its history. Forget the sold-out buildings from coast to coast, the record-breaking jersey sales, the private planes chartered just to move fans and media crews from city to city on a random Tuesday night. Apparently, according to one single moment caught on camera, there's a much better representation of what this league is supposed to look like moving forward.
This man, watch this, but we always trying to score something with somebody, bro. This is crazy. Look, and it's Kelsey Mitchell. Come on. And look, Marina knows she was wrong. Because,
you are so right. Kelsey Mitchell.
Now, Mabrey was wrong because we've never seen Kelsey Mitchell do anything like that.
That's the picture everyone's been passing around since last night. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Marina Mabrey, standing off to the side near the tunnel, watching Caitlyn Clark sign autographs for a wall of fans who stuck around long after the final buzzer. And the look on her face isn't subtle in the slightest. It isn't a neutral glance. It isn't someone simply minding their own business while walking past. It's a full, unmistakable side eye. The exact kind of look you give someone when you genuinely can't stand the fact that they're
some part of this is real. Why? Because this is some Canadian singer I don't know. This is her, what I think was her partner. This is a woman who was who in heels about 6'5". Why do I know that? Because I was sitting here. I was right here. This is the Canadian singer. I don't know who it is. She was on Celebrity Cam. This is said Canadian singer and a partner. This is my footage. This is my footage. So Marina is clearly trying to talk to Caitlyn after the game. Caitlyn does not want anything to do with Marina Mabrey and just walks right by and starts signing.
Receiving attention you feel like you deserve instead. And the internet, being the internet, caught it within seconds and hasn't let it go since. Here's the honest question nobody wants to actually sit with for a second. Who is lining up for Marina Mabrey signature? Nobody's skipping dinner, sitting in traffic for an extra hour, or waiting 90 extra minutes after a game just to get a scribble from Marina Mabrey on a ticket stub or a jersey. That's not meant as an insult toward her as a basketball player.
What we're seeing from CC is freaking ridiculous. She is hooping on another planet right now. Oh my God. Last night, she put the work. She put belt to ass on my Toronto team, on the Toronto Tempo. It was also Caitlyn Clark's Canadian debut, her first game in the city of Toronto, and she did not disappoint. She left the entire country of Canada excited. 24 points, 4 3-pointers, and 7 assists. And just, honestly, just cooking. Like, some of the buckets I've seen, ridiculous. Like, she's the most exciting player to watch in the league. I can't.
That's simply the reality of where these two players currently sit in terms of cultural pull, ticket sales, and pure star power. One of them moves markets every single time she steps onto a court. One of them doesn't, and hasn't for a very long time. And it seems like that widening gap
100% like aware. I know when I went too far with things, like, and it's like shameful. It's like, really, Marina, like, that was ridiculous. So like, for example, the Caitlyn thing, like when the play was over and everyone was like, that was obvious that my emotions of us losing and losing and losing, and then she's like low-key punking our team on top of it. Like, that was too far. Like, that was too much. But then when you go to like Unrivaled this season, and like the little scuffle between me and Suge, like, that was perfect. Because it was just enough that it like fueled me and the team. But then on the flip side, like when we were in Indiana and it was, everyone's booing us, like, it feels like shit. We end up losing by like 25. And it's like, Marina, that's your fault, buddy. Like, You can't do that.
The one that's only grown larger as this season has gone on, finally caught up with her in a way she genuinely couldn't hide from the cameras this time. This wasn't just any random regular season night on the schedule, either. This was Mabrey's own team, on her own home floor, in front of her own fans who paid to watch her play. And the Indiana Fever walked directly into that building and took the win.
Kelsey Mitchell react like this. I honestly don't think I've ever seen Kelsey Mitchell get this mad. Get so mad to get up in somebody's face. What happened? What did Marina Mabrey do to evoke this out of Kelsey Mitchell? Also, you guys, look at Marina Mabrey's reaction. She doesn't even do anything. Kelsey gets in her face, she's yelling at her, and Marina Mabrey just looks at her and walks away. Like, this is even crazy for Marina. She has crowned herself the crash out queen. She didn't even say anything. She wanted no smoke. I need to know what happened though. Like, was anybody at this game? Was anybody sitting courtside? Does anybody have a different angle of what went down? Like, what caused this? I have so many questions. You have like one of the calmest players in the league going off on one of the biggest crash outs in the league, and the crash out does nothing. And the calm player is going.
Clark and her teammates didn't just show up and compete. They left with a result. In the exact building where Mabrey is supposed to be the one setting the tone and controlling the atmosphere. That's not a small thing to swallow as a competitor. Losing at home is always rough on a roster.
On the floor, that is an ejection. If you do that, if you do that in the NBA, you're gone, bro. Like, what are we talking about? This is common sense. This is the most bottom of the barrel of a professional league I've watched, bro. Like, what is this? And she's sitting there laughing like it, bro. Oh my God, man.
She's always in the mix.
WNBA, y'all never fail to outdo yourselves. You guys never fail to outdo yourselves. It's crazy.
There's a scrape across the face. That's what Clark didn't like.
Boom. Look, she could have got whiplash. She could have got whiplash.
No matter who you are or how long you've been in the league. But losing at home while the opposing team's biggest star spends the entire post-game period signing autographs for a line of fans who specifically traveled to see her play. That's the kind of night that sits with a competitive person long after the box score has already been filed away and forgotten by everyone else. So when people online say she was salty, this is exactly what they mean by it. It wasn't just one stray look caught at a bad angle. It was the compounded frustration of watching her own home crowd, in her own building, treat the visiting team.
Look at that. Threes, please. Threes, please. Okay, MHA, what you gonna do with it? You know you don't want to give it back. Oh, look at that. KK.
Team's point guard like she was the actual main event of the entire evening. That kind of moment sticks with people, whether they admit it publicly or not. Nobody enjoys watching a rival get more attention in your own house than you get on your best night. But most seasoned professionals manage to keep that frustration off their face. Mabrey didn't manage that this time. And that wasn't even the only flashpoint from that particular night, which makes the whole situation feel even more telling. Because before the post-game tension even started, there was a moment on the court itself where Mabrey got right up in Kelsey Mitchell's face, jawing at her nonstop, gesturing wildly, like Mitchell had somehow committed some unforgivable basketball crime out there. Mitchell wasn't taunting.
Marina Mabrey gets honest about Caitlin Clark's shove. 2 days after the shove, heard around, I'm pretty sure that means around the women's basketball world, Mabrey was heard saying, D word if I do, D word if I don't. While on Instagram Live. You need to stay off them Instagram Lives. Then she goes on to say, I don't care, honestly. I really don't. Obviously, I'm not trying to hurt anybody. I'm not trying to go after a certain player for certain. Yeah, okay. You're not trying to go after a certain player. You're not trying to hurt nobody. But you bulldozed somebody that was blindsided and eventually got hurt. We can literally say that her injuries started from this.
She wasn't doing anything remotely outside the normal flow of a competitive basketball game. But Mabrey was locked in on her for that entire exchange, practically nose to nose. Line those two moments up side by side, and they both point in the same direction. the heated confrontation with Mitchell during live game action, and then the very visible side eye directed toward Clark once the final buzzer sounded. That's not some random coincidence you can explain away as bad timing or a bad camera angle. That's a player who was rattled from the opening tip all the way through the final horn, and instead of channeling that frustration into her own performance on the floor, spent the entire night pointed outward at everybody standing around her.